So I have Jason Martinko and I have Joe Tex II on the phone. And you guys are going to tell me a lot about the great Joe Tex. Jason, you wrote a book in 2018, I believe, 2017, 2018, about Joe. It looks like it's the definitive text on Joe Tex. What motivated you to write this story?
Well, I had just been collecting info about Joe for about 20 years in a little notebook. I originally heard his music on the Reservoir Dogs soundtrack, and really liked I Got You on there. And I just thought, well, I'd like a whole album of songs that sound like this. So I went out to the store and I bought the best of Joe Tex, and it ended up being a lot different than what I thought. With some of the slow songs and the early '60s soul stuff. I just fell in love with the music, and ever since I've just been trying to collect any little tidbit I could out of little old Jet magazines I'd find around town. I'd go digging through record bins and all these dusty little places in Pittsburgh trying to find Joe Tex 45s, and I got a pretty good collection over the years, and just kept writing everything in a notebook, trying to figure out what year this song was made and who was playing on this song, and I ended up just having all this information. I said, well, no one ever wrote a book about him. I think I could put this all together and make something with it.
Before I forget, I have some notes here, but I'm going to tell you something that's really crazy about the intersection of lives. Joe, too, you went to St. Croix and St. Thomas with your father?
Yeah, when I was young, he took me over there. I broke my... Go ahead.
You broke your toe?
I broke my arm over there. I remember that too.
Okay, so this is my part of the story. I grew up in St. Croix.
Okay.
My godfather, I spent a lot of time with him, and he lived with his older sister at a place called Estate Prosperity, and on that property, there was the Plantation Club, which was the premier showplace in St. Croix. It is very likely that your father played there. It is also possible that I was there when it happened, because I remember hearing, I was young, but I remember hearing a lot of shows downstairs when I was upstairs in bed. James Brown came. Miriam Makeba came, Ben E. King. I bet that your father played at the Plantation Club.
Yeah, probably.
Jason, do you have any details on that?
I don't believe I have any record of it.
I'm going to have to ask my mom. She might remember. Small world. That's crazy.
Yeah, we could definitely look into that. But, I remember traveling with him over there to St. Thomas, St. Croix, and Bahamas, all the time. So we'll definitely look into that. Man. But
Joe, tell me about your entry in the show business. How did this all happen for you?
Oh, man. Really with Dad more than I kind of grew up, just listening and checking out everybody asking me growing up, are you going to do the music thing, or, you're going to follow in your dad's footsteps and that kind of stuff. And, at the time I would say, but never really gave it any serious thought. And by the time I got to high school, I was fooling around with just doing a little writing and that kind of stuff. And I had a band growing up with some guys in the neighborhood, and whenever Dad would come to town, or he would be in the area, he'd say, man, y'all get a few songs together. I'm going to have y'all come open up some shows for me and that kind of thing. So we would learn a few sets and that kind of stuff. And whenever he would come in the area, because I grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, that's home for me. So so whenever he would be in the area, we would go open up some shows and things like that for him. But really, my mom got me kind of into the music thing. She was the one who told me to join the choir in school and stuff like that. So she really kind of pushed me in that direction as well, and just started doing some writing and producing and things like that. And he would take us on the road with him whenever he would come in the area, and I would always travel with him. I went to Europe with him on one of his tours. One time he was over there doing the army bases and stuff in Europe, in Germany. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I went with him on that and just hung around the musicians a lot. You know, I mean, I think, you know, it was just there all the time. So and music, pianos at the house, and you know, musicians coming by. So it was just a great environment to harness that music. You know. Yeah, and feed that just that fire, I guess, that was there, you know. So sure, it was definitely a blessing. Yeah, and I appreciate Jason really just stepping out and doing something that no one has done before. Something I had been thinking about for a long time was doing a book or something on Dad, because I knew that there was nothing out there. He had been mentioned in books throughout, you know, other people's writings. Buddy Kellen, his producer out of Nashville, had done a book, Flying by the Seat of My Pants, some years ago, and he talked about Dad in there, and I read different articles on him and other books, but nothing dedicated specifically to him. So I really commend Jason on stepping forward to do that, man, and it's definitely needed. And he's definitely been overlooked throughout, you know, just the music career. A lot of accolades and everything that I think a lot of people have gotten, because we're still shooting to get him in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So hopefully this will lead to something on that level.
This will help.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope so, yeah.
When I when I do birthdays on the Soul Show, and your father comes up, you know, I go through my song list, and the song that I play sometimes is Joe Tex by Buddy Miles. And Jason, thank you for making the connection of why that song is named Joe Tex.
Yeah.
Other than it being a tribute, it's about the styling and melody in it. So you pulled out some nice details. Jason, I want to ask you a question. You talk in the book about how Joe Tex, you know, won talent contests over folks who became bigger household names. That's always an intriguing story when you hear about somebody who was winning everything, but then the other person kind of came from behind and really got the biggest prizes. Solomon Burke was one example of that. I think that Solomon came in second in a talent show. And so my question to you is that, you know, despite Joe's skills and drive, which he certainly had, he didn't hit the highest echelons of fame. I mean, he had huge hits, but in terms of that long, steady ride, some people made out better. What are some of the reasons, in your opinion? Is it things like management? Is it rivalries? Is it song selection? Is it just luck? What's your conclusion as you did your research?
I would say just luck. I think he for some reason just didn't quite get the right song out when it needed to come out or something. Because like there's this thing where he almost recorded Fever but he decided to not do it at that session, and then the very next session Little Willie John came and did Fever, and it became a huge success. I think he just missed. The timing wasn't exactly always perfect for him.
Yeah, and then I remember Dad saying back in, he almost just gave up the music industry because he had been recording for some years in the 50s for probably about 10 years, and he had never had a hit record, anything to catapult him to that next level. And he said he was getting ready to kind of call it quits, and they went into Muscle Shoals, Alabama, with Buddy Kellen and what they were doing down there in Muscle Shoals, and recorded "Hold On to What You Got," and
which was written at the very last minute.
Yeah, and and probably didn't really think that was going to be a hit. You know, they just recorded something and put it out, and it just took off. You know, next thing you know, it was gone, and that pretty much kept him in the music industry. You know, and just so that thankfully that was right on time.
Right, it has finally hit. And I remember hearing that he was even mad that Buddy went and put it out. He said, "Oh, you didn't put out that piece of crap, did you?"
Yeah.
He said, "Yep, it's on the radio right now."
Right. It sounded like he was ready. He was trying to get out of his contract. He was wondering where's my torn up contract? I'm not listening to the radio right now. What?
Right.
I got a hit.
Right. Thankfully, thankfully that one worked out.
Joe, give me a short list, maybe 5 songs of your favorite tracks by your father.
5? Man, so many. All of the hits, I Got You, Hold On to What You Got. I like Mother's Prayer. That's a good one that a lot of people don't hear. Also, Skinny Legs, and what's I'm trying to think of another one. It's not the green grass of home. I like Chicken Crazy too. Don't know too many people know about that. And
Papa's Dream, was that the one?
Yeah, Papa's Dream. You Said a Bad Word. Those are a lot of the ones that nobody really know about, but those are like some of my favorites. Some of the ones that weren't the big hits,
Okay.
Because I've redone a few of those on my latest project. Nothing But a Joe Tex Party. I recorded a few. Woman Stealer. I redid that one on my CD, which was a nice song and has a bluesy kind of flavor to it. And so quite a few, man.
I need a copy of that CD. I hope you have some in your suitcase.
I sure will. I'll have them with me.
All right. All right, great.
Too.
Yeah.
Jason, what are a couple of things that you'd like listeners to know about Joe Tex that they may not know already?
Just how hard he worked and how many songs he really did make before the ones that we know or that people know famously. Like he almost had a whole career before he did Hold What You Got. He had songs like Little Richard type songs in the 50s. And,
yes.
I think he worked so hard and just did such good work. And I just want people to know.
Give me another one. Because I got some secrets that I didn't know that you wrote about. And maybe you forget how significant they are. But there were a lot of surprises to me about his life. The Solomon Burke thing I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, the
Soul Plan.
Yeah, how they teamed up and everything. And I just like the fact that Dad was a writer. A lot of artists during that time probably were having a lot of people writing for them, but I'm thankful that he was a writer and he wrote songs for other artists as well. He wrote some stuff for James Brown. He wrote some stuff for the Isley Brothers, and so he was a songwriter. So that was a big thing, and he was all about family too, man. I know on his tombstone in Navasota, Texas. I was actually out there last couple of weeks ago. We had a family reunion out there, and on his headstone it says, it was family, not fame, that kept him singing.
Yes.
And he was a big family man. Really enjoyed being around everyone and just having a good time. Was never what would I say, just conceited with the music business. He didn't put on those airs. He wasn't fake. He was just down to earth all the time, give you the shirt off his back. That's one thing I really appreciate about him. And just would do anything for anyone. And I think a lot
listening to his lyrics.
Business, a lot of times in this business, people can take advantage of you like that, because it's just never something he really wanted me to pursue, but just because of all the sharks and the things that you go through in the industry and not being there to raise your kids and be there for your family on a major level. But I remember he came to my high school growing up in Baton Rouge, and he did a tribute to help raise some money for the band, and my band opened up the show for me for him, and he called me out on stage when he came out and just talked about that. But he said, whatever, if that's what I wanted to do, he was going to be there to help push me, to do that.
Yes.
Yeah. So just unfortunately ran out of time, man. I was 17.
Don't we all?
Yeah. I was 17. Yeah. He was so young, 47, and I think about it now that I'm in my early 50s, and the fact that he was so young when he passed, man. So yeah. But
I think that's when it really clicks, when you get up there a little bit yourself,
right,
and realize which loved ones did not get that far.
Exactly.
It really does.
Yeah, but
tell us a little bit about what the show is about at the Hard Rock. Tell us when it is, the date, the time, and the lineup, and about the Braddock Brothers.
Go ahead, Jason.
Sure. Well, the Braddock Brothers is my band. We've been together since 2013, and it's actually a lot of the guys that played in my previous band, which was called the Jason Martinko Review. And back then we were always pretty much a soul band with horns and stuff, and we still got some horns now, but we do rockabilly and early rhythm and blues, some Roy Brown and Gene Vincent, some Jerry Lee Lewis and Buddy Holly type stuff.
Okay.
So the show at the Hard Rock, it's Saturday, August 10th, starting at 8, and we have a soul DJ named
and that
DJ
would be
Pop.
Tonight, actually.
Yeah. So DJ Pop Tone will be spinning records. And then the Braddock Brothers are going to do a little half-hour warm-up set, probably around 8:39, and then have a little more of the DJ, and then we're going to bring Joe out.
All right.
Some of his best songs.
Tex hits.
Yep. Doing the good stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll have copies of my book there, and then after Joe's performance, we'll be signing copies of the book if anybody wants one.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Do some books and T-shirts and CDs, man, and just want everyone to just come out and have a Joe Tex party, good time. We're gonna, just give them the hits and just introduce them to just his music and just his legacy and just really looking forward to it. I'm excited about it and really appreciate the Hard Rock for having us coming in and putting this together.
Really looking forward to it. And I remember something that, Jason, you were supposed to say when I asked about a couple of things. I know it's a blur to you, but how about that play about Joe Tex in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it
was a big deal.
Yeah.
That was a big deal. I didn't know anything about it until after it was over.
I don't think I caught it.
Yeah, it was never advertised anywhere that I saw, but I was so mad that I missed that.
Yeah.
But,
and actually,
nice if
because they started that play. The guys that wrote it, they actually flew down. I was living in Houston at the time, and they flew down and spent a couple of days with me and the family, getting details on everything. And they did it in Chicago initially, and at the Black Theater Ensemble, and it ran for a month, but it did so well they extended it a month. So from there, that's when they brought it on over to Pittsburgh, to the Black Theater Ensemble there. I wasn't able to make it to Pittsburgh for that one, though. But I did go to Chicago for the play. And they did a great job. I was really hoping it was something they would have could have gone throughout the country.
Sure.
Play. I think it would have done really well. But yeah, Pittsburgh, I think was the last place that they did it, though. But they did a great
Well, I
job.
think, combination of a good book like yours, Jason, and a good son carrying on the legacy, we may see more things. There may be a spark here. So it's my honor to be connecting with you two gentlemen, and I wish you the best of luck in terms of book success and in terms of music success. And I look forward to the show on Saturday night.
Hey,
thank you, two gentlemen. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, get some rest and give us a big show.
All right. I got you.
All right.
Well, thank you guys so much.
All right.